For generations, colleges were an environment where students could speak their minds and express their values, feeding ideas into a pool of creativity and revolution. But recently, free speech has been challenged as speech codes and speech zones have been established on campuses, infringing upon the right to exercise the First Amendment.
A survey at the University of Missouri revealed that 78% of students said that it's more important for colleges to create an open learning environment, even if that means allowing speech that may be offensive or biased against certain groups of people, than to create a positive learning environment, prohibiting certain types of speech or expression that are offensive or biased. Speech codes are regulations found on campuses restricting free speech and expression by banning speech beyond the strict legal definitions of offense, slander, and fighting words. Free speech zones are designated out-of-the-way areas on campus where student demonstrations and protests are forced to be held. The Constitution gives us the right to free speech, assembly, religion, press, and petition. However, universities have found a loophole, claiming that these speech codes are enforced to protect against hate speech. Even well-meaning, there is a debate as to the correct way to respond to hate speech, and if censorship is really the best answer.
Now, if I give some quotes, including from then-President Barack Obama, who certainly is an expert on hate speech, having taught constitutional law at the University of Chicago, having been subjected to it himself, saying the most effective way to respond to hatred is not through repression, but through counter-speech.
One large organization that fights the oppression of speech codes and zones is FIRE, the Foundation for Individual Rights and Education. FIRE's core mission is to protect the unprotected and to educate the public and communities of concerned Americans about the threats to these rights on our campuses and about the means to preserve them. FIRE keeps track of reported cases, such as one at Modesto Junior College, where a student was handing out copies of the U.S. Constitution on Constitution Day when the campus police quickly shut him down, explaining that students are not permitted to distribute materials without prior permission or outside of the boundaries of the free speech zone.
Why? Don't I have free speech, sir?
You can either come with me or we can go.
Some of those who do not believe free speech is threatened on campus claim that those who are complaining are extreme leftist groups who take offense too easily. They say that the youth today is too sensitive and need to learn to stop searching for problems in society.
This generation especially are like an emotional marshmallow, hypersensitive to the mean negative words and actions of others.
Others say that the speech codes and zones are established in order to provide a safe environment for student demonstrations and to keep those not involved in protests protected. Missouri State University recently got rid of these zones, leaving some to question the decision.
Students shared their opinion with us on the issue.
If you have protesters anywhere on campus, they could create problems for people getting to and from class, or for the bear line getting through.
We also have classes that come outside sometimes if the weather's nice. You can't really have a class outside if you have protesters just walking around everywhere.
However, a slight disruption of class is a small sacrifice to pay for the assurance of free speech on campus, a place where all ideas should be expressed without the fear of limitation by authority.
The First Amendment is vital to the ideals of our nation, where we treasure our ability to be whoever we desire. Physically, college campuses make up a small part of our country, but they hold some of the newest, brightest, and most revolutionary ideas of the future. These young minds cannot be held back just because some deem it safer to contain negative words, rather than let them fuel and inspire students to create a society brimming with new possibilities.
Therefore, it's crucial that the public is aware of this infringement on our rights and that we do everything in our power to look up, speak up, and rally up.